This call to worship was written by our own Jeff Duke. Oh, my friends, I'm so glad we're together. It's been a while, and I always feel better after our visits. Some days the drone of the news is a discouraging soundtrack, and I'd rather listen to your true voice. I want to know how it is with your heart, with your spirit. What are you carrying? Can I help? I have some things to tell you, too, about these days. Oh, these days, and my part in them. And you know, after we sit and chat, even just sharing your kind company, I want you to know that I feel like maybe we could go make some righteous mischief. We could go build a world a little bit better. That is, if you do it with me. It is good we gather together. Please join me in saying either the English or the Spanish for lighting our chalice. Encendemos esta llama para recargarnos de la luz de la verdad, la calidez de comunidad, and el fuego de compromiso.
Good morning. Welcome to each of you here in the sanctuary, and to those of you joining us online. This is the September 15th, 2024 Sunday service of the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Burlington. I'm Judy Brooke. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the Worship Associate team. 10 years ago, Steve Silverman and I took beekeeping lessons from Todd Schlossberg and Chris Bullard. We won them at an auction. We have been beekeeping ever since. This past week, Steve and I harvested more than 100 pounds of honey from our 2 hives. Life is sweet. Today, I've traded my beekeeping suit for this bee suit. Bees are great communicators through chemicals and dance. We bees would like to let you know of opportunities within this hive to make your life sweeter. Stay tuned. Today is a multi-generational service, so our children will be with us most of the morning. If you need nursery care, it's available on the lower level, accessible by elevator or stairs at the end of the hallway. If you scan the QR code in the front of the gray hymnal, you will get our website, uusociety.org. There you can find the order of service, links to live stream service, giving, as well as a button labeled New to Our Community. If you are new to our community and feeling brave, would you be willing to wave your hand so we could extend a special welcome? Oh, here we go. Welcome. We have designated welcome ambassadors who are available to answer any questions you might have about our worship service, our society, or Unitarian Universalism. Our welcome ambassadors today are Mary Harrington and Richard and Carolyn Smiles. Would you stand and wave your hands, please? There they are. Thank you. If you'd like us to connect with you, you can fill out that New to Our Community form on our website, also there when you scan the QR code. And if you're here in person, you'll find a paper version of that form in the pew that you can fill out and drop in the offering basket. Everybody is invited to the coffee hour in the downstairs community room after the service. which you can reach by stairs at the end of the hall or the elevator right around the corner. It's a great time to meet old and new friends, learn more about, and sign up for the many sweet opportunities here at the First UU. You can also check out the new library in the archives. This religious society is guided not by a creed, but by our commitment to each other and shared values that include justice, equity, truth, and generosity. Love is at the center of it all. We welcome all who are welcoming. So friends, whatever it took for you to get here, wherever you've come from, wherever you are, whatever burdens and joys you're carrying, your whole self is welcome here. Come, let us worship together.
We are about to sing the first hymn in Singing the Living Tradition, officially titled in our gray hymnal, you have it in front of you, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. And if you do pick that up, I know the words will be projected, but if you pick it up, you'll see there is a QR code on the inside. If you ever notice that, will get you to our website if it's working. The website has been a little cranky these days. But you can see our order of service there and all those different things. But this hymn, number 1, used to go by a different name. It was written by Louis Untermeyer, and it was called Prayer for This House. I have come to like using that title instead. Now, we are singing it for 2 reasons. One is that given all of the transitions that we are going through, the staff changes and launching our Director of Operations and Finance into sabbatical, it is not a bad idea to call out to the universe a request for a prayer on this house. And also, it turns out to be one of Christina's 2 favorite hymns. Now, when she told me that, she also told me that she and Woody, her husband, who is not on staff but can easily be confused because he is such an active volunteer, especially on Sunday mornings, he too is going on sabbatical, at least on Sunday mornings. She told me that they playfully argue about this hymn. Deep UUs that they would argue about a hymn. They argue about the final line. Though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. Apparently, one of them, and I'm not going to tell you which one of them believes that love should not be held in. And the other believes that is not the point. I leave it to them to disclose more details, but I was so happy to be reminded of this hymn. This is one of the hymns that I would actually sing to my children as a goodnight lullaby. And I think we have several good reasons to include it today, but that last line, keep hate out, as well as the idea of keeping love in our hearts, in our nation, means we will be singing it more than once this fall. And thank you to Todd, who's, no, that's the ending. We are going to, with our voices, lead ourselves in singing this song. The words will be projected, and we are wishing Liam Hart, our director of music, well as he recovers from illness. I mentioned that there have been some staff transitions of late. Let me say it's been just a few. And this congregation runs on teamwork and the delicious and sometimes delicate interplay between staff and lay leaders. While all of the work that staff do is important, sometimes that work is invisible, and sometimes staff aren't quite visible. So we want to make sure to introduce to you some of our newer staff. So staff, if you are able to hear me talking and you are able to stop what you are doing, I ask you to come forward here and stand there. There. And I mean it, actually. Some of you could do this. So I'm inviting Tova, right? And Carl. Excellent, thank you. That's right. I knew Devin was going to show. Woo-hoo! So we have here in our sanctuary Tova Johnson, who is our program assistant. Tova started in April under a different title, but has expanded to working with us for 30 hours in both faith development and admin. So yay, Tova. We also have Carl Fanrich, who is our new organist, who also plays the piano. Carl has been playing for us once a month since January, but it's become official. Our new facilities manager, Devin Fallon, he started at the end of May. And I don't know if we already projected it and I missed our opportunity, or if we have the photo of Phoenix up. Is that available? Oh, there you go. This is Phoenix Crockett, who just started as our child care coordinator. This means that he is going to be our most consistent child care provider, and others will be working with him. We're hoping that this will make it more attractive and appealing to families, knowing that they have a relationship, and Phoenix has a relationship with the children. So that is great. And then, of course, like I said, Liam wanted to be here today, but he's been ill, and it's so good that he is taking more time to recover. And these fine humans here, and the ones I've been talking about, they join a band of other fine humans, some of whom are child care providers. So I want to shout out to Cassie and Max and Bridget and Penny. And some who make the tech team up there, Michael, Adele, Keats, and one more soon. And then the amazing caretakers, Phil, Charlie, Bob, and Daryl, who is also our custodian. And there's our bookkeeper. And did I tell you that it takes a team to run this congregation? And of course, then there is Christina and Erica and Aaron and me. Quite a team. Let's give a huzzah.
We have a reading to share with the congregation, but somehow we don't have enough readers for all the parts. And I'd like to invite Miles, Tove, and Meg forward, but we're looking for 3 more volunteers who will read the text I've printed out for you. Do I have any volunteers? The gentleman in the gray shirt, Kristen? Let's see. Oh, Valerie, come on up. Thank you, Miles.
Be whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
So I'm reader 4?
Yes.
Okay, I'm up first. Yes, thank you. So this is called The Invitation. It was written by Uriah Mountain Dreamer. You might be familiar with it. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive.
It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it.
I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, remember the limitations of being human.
It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy.
I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have.
I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back.
It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments.
So, children, youth, those young at heart, if you would come forward, I have a story, not really a story, I want to explain something. And I'm going to need your help with something that's kind of important. You're the key players here. So if you would come forward, that would be great. I hate standing there, so I'm going to sit down and hope that you join me. Thank you. I appreciate not being left alone up here. It's a little weird feeling. So y'all make it better for me. Thank you. So there's this word that we've been saying, and I don't know if it's gotten kind of trickled down to the younger people, but it's called sabbatical. And it's a word that we hear in congregations and sometimes at universities, and it's related to the word Sabbath. And I wonder if any of you have ever heard the word Sabbath or know what it means, Charlotte. Yeah, tell me.
So, like, it's where you talk about something with a community, and you talk about something that means a lot, and it makes a big impact on that community.
So the response is that Sabbath is something where you talk about something important and how it might be impacting a community. That's the short version of what I just heard. And that actually is the kind of, it does speak to one of the important things that happen on a Sabbath. Yeah, did you want to say something else?
Would like a Sabbathical be like a community that does a lot of that stuff? Like a Sabbath?
I love that you all are understanding that community is part of Sabbath making and sabbatical making. Joe.
Sabbath is like a night of like it's like a holiday or a tradition sort of thing.
Yes. So Sabbath is a day or a 24-hour period of rest. And many communities who have a Sabbath, they come together on that day to raise up that which is worthy, which is what we do on Sundays. So that connects totally to what you were saying. So Sabbath in the Jewish tradition starts on Friday night and goes till sundown on Saturday. In the most Christian traditions, it's all day Sunday. Seventh-day Adventists celebrate the Sabbath on Saturday. So this is a break, a rest. So if Sabbath is a break or a rest, sabbatical is a long break or a long rest. And sometimes it happens at universities. Not everybody who works at a university gets a sabbatical, and not everybody who works at a congregation gets a sabbatical. But one of the really cool things that we can be proud of at this congregation, because when UU congregations offer a sabbatical to their religious professionals, they often only offer it to their settled minister, which is awesome for me, but not for other kinds of ministers and not for other religious professionals. But here, we are committed to offering sabbaticals to all of our religious professionals who are directors and work here full time. And so that is why Christina gets a long period of rest, even though she loves us, from being here. Do you have, I know some of you in the room know this, do you all have any idea how long Christina has worked here? Not lived here, but sometimes it feels like it. I'm going to ask someone else who, just because I've called on you already. Anybody else want to take a guess? Let's guess, wild guess.
40 years.
4 years?
40.
40 years. Does it feel like it sometimes? Yeah. It's actually pretty darn close to 40 years. But lower.
20.
20, higher.
30.
Lower than 30.
25.
25, higher.
29.
Ooh, 29. So we're between 25 and 29. It's
26.
26. 26 years she has been working here. Today is Christina's last Sunday here for 3.5 months. She's coming back in the new calendar year. And so we think that it makes sense, since she's going off to take this long rest, we hope she rests, that it would be good that when we say goodbye to her, that we bless her. Would you all be willing to be part of a blessing? Yeah? Would you all be willing, and you can choose to do this or not, I have some of our homegrown holy water that we collected just last week, that you might place that on your fingers or your hands and then do what we call a laying on of hands on for Christina as how we do her blessing. So we're going to do a laying on of hands. This is a kind of ritual or blessing that we typically leave for very special moments, often just when we ordain ministers. But there have been times in my ministry where we have laid on hands when somebody is about to have brain surgery, when we have laid on hands when we have done a ritual of affirming someone's gender, and it is powerful. And this is the moment we need to find that power. So our children are going to embody that power. Y'all who are sitting in the pews and y'all who are on the live stream, you can reach your hands up when we get to that point to participate. But so let us have the chair that is right here. We're going to put it here, and Christina's going to come and sit here. And then Woody, who is also having a version. You got it? Could you do that? That'd be great. Right here. And Charlotte, would you help anybody who would like some homegrown holy water before you bless her? Will you help pass that out to folks? Yeah, to anyone? So you just lift, okay, we're going to have lots of helpers. Excellent. Empty this. If you want some, that'd be great. You put it on your hands, share. Just share amongst yourselves, friends. I want to say that we have done an amazing amount of preparation all summer, all year, to bring the sabbatical together. And Christina has had a group of people, a sabbatical team. I'm going to say their first names. 2 are off traveling and not here, but Alana and Tracy, if you could stand and represent the sabbatical team who has been helping all of us get ready for this, and Eileen and Brian, thank you for your work. So it would be a humane thing if every worker, paid or unpaid, had a sabbatical, right? But it turns out, not a right, but a privilege, and it is for sure a blessing. And in that spirit, we are going to bless Christina. So, will you come forward, whether you have holy water, you want to hand that to me and I can pull it out, whether you have holy water on your hands or not, and come here and find a place, maybe make eye contact with Christina before you do, and come and lay your hands on as part of the blessing for her. You children will be come on, if you want. Just like this. Thank you, Tova, for helping us. And Woody, you're going to stand right here because you are going on sabbatical too, and you could offer your hand there. Yeah, maybe on her knee, if that would be okay. Mm-hmm. And we're doing this, and if you at home or in the pew want to offer your hands in blessing, Spirit of life and love, be present to Christina, be present to Woody. Be present to both of them as they travel on this journey we call sabbatical. With love at the center, be gentle with Christina, be gentle with Woody as they experiment with a new kind of time, a new path, a new cadence in their shared lives. May they receive both what they expect and something or some things unexpected. Spirit of risk and possibility, be with this congregation during this sabbatical time, this chance to know ourselves in a new way, practicing grace and curiosity along the way. May the congregation be understanding that balls will drop, sometimes hard, and we shall all find our way through both rough and smooth moments in our shared communal life. May our love companion both Christina and Woody in the coming months, and may you return. That was the blessing for us. The blessing for you is may you return refreshed and renewed with a sense of purpose and belonging, and let the people say, Amen. Thank you so much for you're staying. You all can go back. There's a little bit more. Thank you. So, thank you. Our holy water here. So, next is this gift. It's a plant that that is excited to grow and multiply. It's one that I cultivated and am happy to pass on to you. May it be a reminder that sabbatical is both a time of deep rest and new discovery and creativity. It's a fecund time, a fertile time, and may that be true for both of you. And next, we have a congregational covenant. So from your sitting position, you don't need to stand. I want you to listen to these questions, and if you agree at the end of them in one voice, please say we do. And so, Christina, will you stand and face the congregation? And I can take that from your hands if that's better. I'll give you, thank you. Zoe asked just one, and I'll give you a cue. How's that? But you're facing them, listening to them, and you're listening to me. Do you covenant to recognize, start here. Do you covenant to honor our commitment in granting this sabbatical and recognizing the long years of dedication that Christina has brought to this congregation? Do you commit in this small town community to honor sabbatical, recognizing Christina's right to intentional time away? Do you agree that if you cross paths with Christina, you won't reference congregational life as your way of respecting the sabbatical boundary and helping her to keep it as well? We do. Woody, facing the congregation, do you covenant to recognize the unique situation Woody is in? Taking his own version of sabbatical, a break from Sunday morning tech team, but possibly here at other times. Will you support him as a fellow congregant who is in the unusual position of not being able to talk about church at home, because that is how he honors Christina's sabbatical? And any staff who are present or can hear, I hope that you can hear this covenant that the congregation is making with you. Do you, congregation, covenant to offer grace not if but when balls drop in the daily operations of this congregation, and to cultivate curiosity as well as offers of support when they are needed? We do. And members and involved friends and folks who think this just might be your spiritual home, will you look around, look to somebody sitting next to you, one of your neighbors, and then affirm the following. Do you covenant to do what is yours to do to live into our mission, even as we experience this absence? Do you covenant to remember that we are largely a new staff team, still very much learning? Do you covenant to keep in mind that we are a smaller staff team than we were even last year, and that we have only one minister, and not the two that we are sometimes used to here? And we cannot do everything that was once possible. If so, let us speak these words in unison. Let us hope they're coming. Yes. Carry with you the love and laughter, admiration and appreciation of this place and this.
Spiritual practices come in many forms within our Sunday service. Generosity, spoken meditation, stillness, music, creating space for our joys and our sorrows and for our gratitude. In this portion of our Sunday service, each of us will have the chance to enter into those communal practices to which we are drawn, to hold space, and to offer our loving witness for each other. As a justice-seeking spiritual community, our generosity practice includes sharing half the offering every Sunday. Offerings this month will be shared with two projects of the Northeast Organic Farming Association of Vermont, NOFA, Vermont. One project, the Farmer Emergency Fund, supports farmers who have been adversely affected by natural and unnatural disasters, including extreme weather, flooding, and financial hardship, who do not always qualify for federal or private assistance programs. The other project is called the Resilience Fund, which provides farmer resilience grants to increase resilience on farms and in local communities as a way to address problems like climate chaos, social inequality, and corporate consolidation.
Friends, please join me in a time of meditation, prayer, centering. No matter the word, I invite you to find your posture of dignity, one that is both relaxed and alert, noticing the breath breathing your body, opening to this moment of connection and care. Spirit of life and love, may we sense your presence by whatever name we know you. Mystery, community, God, justice, still small voice, beauty, Gaia, love at the center. Into this circle of care and love, we raise up the joy that Brenda Ballin shares twice over, both the celebration of the 22nd birthday of her triplet nephews, as well as gratitude for how her husband decided to celebrate her recent birthday. We have gratitude for local artists who lend us their art. Kristen Breivik and Suzanne Stimmick. And friends, there is a sorrow among us. Nancy Hodgkins shares that her father died this past Tuesday. She is, in her grief, grateful for the support from the Maine Veterans Home and Hospice. And another sorrow among us. Corinne Ziegler mourns the murder of Ayşenur Ezgi Egi, the Turkish-American young woman killed last week in the West Bank while protecting a grove of olive trees. Ayşenur was a friend of Corinne's daughter, Maya. We also hold in our hearts and the circle of care the residents of Springfield, Ohio, particularly those Haitian immigrants who are experiencing a ratcheted, targeted hate after a nefarious and racist trope was amplified by one of the presidential candidates during this past week's debate. And we hold those under siege and seeking safety in war-torn regions around the world: Sudan and South Sudan, Gaza, Ukraine. Let us now take a few moments to connect with the longing in our own hearts, prayers only we know, acknowledging there are so many joys, sorrows, and gratitudes that go unspoken. Let us do so until the chime rings again. Amen.
When the music plays in just a moment, we invite you to come forward to silently mark a joy, a sorrow, or a gratitude in your life by moving a stone from one of the bowls onto the table, creating a representation of our shared lives at this special fleeting moment. As you are moved, please come forward along the outer aisles and return to your seat via the central aisle. If you have a gift to add to the offering baskets, you can place it here at the top of the aisle to the basket, or you can make your offering at home online. If you are at home or you want to remain seated, we invite you to lean into the music as an opportunity for stillness and centering as it makes sense to you. Please join me in our offering dedication. With gratitude, we dedicate these gifts in the service of our mission to inspire spiritual growth, care for each other and our community, seek truth, and act for justice.
Before I speak my words, I feel like I want to take a page from the playbook of those movies that said that they were inspired by true events. And you know, like there's a little bit of a gap between true events and what the depiction is. So I just want to say I am a minister, not a biologist, as I tell you the story of bees. So, waggle dance. It's a thing honeybees do sometimes when they're swarming to find a new home, to alert their fellow bees of a promising source of nourishment, and both purposes grow the health and vibrancy of the hive. The waggle dance, the communication is quite precise. A honeybee scout who has something to say, something to report to her fellow bees, dances in a figure-8 pattern while repeatedly shaking her backside. No, okay. Over and over, and the angle of the dance relationship to the top of the hive conveys to the worker bees the direction they should fly in relationship to the sun to find the destination, and the length of the dance going forward conveys just how far away that destination is. It's really precise. And when it comes to finding the necessary nourishment a honeybee needs, the nectar, right, and the pollen from flowers, this waggle dance is essential to keeping the community of bees robust. I am not going to put these on, but I want you to imagine that they are on, because I am all about wanting this place and this people to be robust and well-nourished. So inspired by the honey bees waggle dance, some of your fellow congregants are going to extend a series of invitations into the life of this congregation, teams or projects or events that are happening that you could use some more human energy to enliven them as part of keeping this congregation robust. And as these are spoken aloud, if there is anyone in here who decides to shake their backside in a waggle dance, I don't know, I'm going to take you out to ice cream. Some of these teams exist and need just a few more people to help us live into their mission, and a few of these teams are necessary to brighten our mission but don't have anyone on them, having gone fallow during the pandemic, and we are hoping to resurrect them. This congregation is fortunate. We have this strong, competent staff team, yet we are not a regular nonprofit. We are a house of worship, a congregation, a religious society. Some even say we are a church. And others would prefer we never use that word. So this means ultimately the work of the congregation is the work of the people. The work that you do. That is our shared work to live out our values and live into our mission. The Soul Matters theme for this month is invitation, and that is what this is, an invitation to you. Not to that person, to you and the person sitting next to you, all of you. And just like honeybees, if you hear a particular invitation, waggle dance invitation, and it isn't attractive enough to attract some of you, it's kind of like a democratic vote. If we don't attract enough energies for projects or teams, they will go away. This is how we are and who we are. So, I think if you are one of the people and you know who you are, I've already spoken to you, this is the time for you to come forward and mill about. As Judy helps extend, thank you, that first invitation. And if you can listen and pay attention and perhaps notice there are some memorable ways to help you realize who is extending the invitation, you can find them at coffee hour afterwards for many of these things. Sign up or come.
The Library Committee invites you to come see the totally redone and stationary adult library space downstairs. Both that and the children's space were painted by the Spruce Up Committee, and they look great. After the service, I will be downstairs to answer any questions about the new space and about volunteering with us. We have projects that need attention now that we are settled, and many can be worked on according to your availability. Stop by if you can, or if not, you can find Jean Lynch's contact information in Realm.
Why am I up here this morning talking to you all? Someone has to do it, I guess. I'm one of the group of people called cranks. We take turns winding that clock in the steeple that has kept time in Burlington for over 2 centuries. Right now, it needs some repair, but 2/3 of the viewers can tell the time, and the bell rings every hour. So consider becoming a crank. If you have strong back and arms, sign up today or email cranks@uusociety.org for more information.
Every week, we light a chalice together in dedication to our community and our values. The stewardship team gathers the fuel which feeds that fire. If you like to throw a party, if you like to talk about this community and what it stands for, or if you enjoy reaching out beyond your usual circles to include new people and new ideas, we want to have you on our team.
In a large congregation like ours, one of the best ways to get to know others is to feel a sense of belonging. And that is to join a small group whether you are new to us or have been a member for years. Our theme circles and chalice circles and occasional Sunday circles are a wonderful way to meet people, foster meaningful connections, and deepen your own personal spiritual journey. Circles are so popular that we are looking for additional facilitators to help us make sure we have enough circles to meet the needs in our congregation. Please talk to us if that might be you. Thank you. Bzzz.
Performance, yes, thank you. Performance, spoken word piece, except for waggle piece, I don't know. So I want to talk to you about pastoral visiting. In the past, the congregation has had a pastoral visiting program, folks who were trained to be able to be available to listen and visit with some of other congregants, fellow congregants, when there was a need or loneliness. And this is something that we do not have now, though the need for attention, this kind of attention, is something that is wider than what the senior minister, whoever she is, can do by herself. So if this is something that you think you would be interested in doing, being able to visit some of our elders, gaining training and support to be able to do that, I hope you will come and find me at coffee hour and sign up to apply. Not everyone can do this, but we can provide the support for you in order to make this something as part of our robust community.
Wow. The raison d'etre for the planned giving team is securing the long-term health of the first UU. We encourage congregants to make a simple provision in their wills or make the congregation a beneficiary on a retirement or life insurance plan, creating a gift after they pass away. Small or large, this generosity serves as a lasting legacy to our beloved community through our endowments. The Legacy Society, right there, is how we recognize those people who have committed to making such a planned gift. And our team has 2 invitations for you. Dive in and become a Legacy Society member by making a planned gift. We can help you learn more about the different options. And consider joining our team. We have a small band of committed members and could really use a few additional members. 3 or 4 short meetings a year and reaching out to a handful of fellow congregants who might be interested in making a planned gift. So thanks for considering diving in. Your participation will help our religious tradition thrive and our historic meeting house endure for many generations.
Good morning. First, I would like to ask anybody who's a member of the membership team at all or the group, raise your hands. So you can see what a fun group we are. The membership committee identifies and welcomes newcomers and orients them to Unitarian Universalism and this society, works to integrate them into this religious community, and nurtures their commitment and involvement. We recruit welcome ambassadors for services, run new U orientation classes, and create programming for those new to our society. New members are a great addition to our committee because of their own recent experience of being welcomed into the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Burlington community. Hope you'll join us. Thank you.
When the next windstorm comes and a tree falls across your driveway, wouldn't it be great if you could find someone with a chainsaw? Or when an ice storm knocks out power for a few days, you could find somebody with a generator. Or if you go to service in the morning, you go outside and your car's dead, wouldn't it be great to find somebody for a ride? Our goal with this group is to connect people locally in local neighborhood networks, if they want, this is an opt-in thing, to be able to provide mutual aid for each other. We've had local groups before. Some of you may have been involved in some of the neighborhood groups, but a lot of that focus was around socializing and connecting people together. And that may also be part of these groups, but the focus is on how can we help each other. Since we're a regional congregation drawing from further north than St. Albans and as far south as Charlotte, we hope to create a way to opt into a manageable size group based on our geographic proximity to each other. This is a new group. There's only a couple of us involved. There's many steps to developing this and rolling it out, including coming up with a name. So please, if you're interested to create these little mutual aid groups, neighborhood networks, please find me and talk to me and sign up. Thank you.
I know that on the minds of many, perhaps all, we are wondering what is going to happen on Election Day. And I'm not talking about who is the winner, but what will happen in our nation and what will happen here in Burlington, what will happen within our own hearts. Will there be smooth sailing? We hope so, but given recent history and the current state of things, we can't count on it. And it is possible that come November 5th, our wider community will need a space, a refuge, a sanctuary, a place to spend a moment to calm down, to perhaps have a listening ear, to help get through that day. We are hoping that we will identify enough people who have that skill to be able to listen and help calm rather than to stoke fears, who can, on November 5th, be present with another team member here so we can open our sanctuary to anyone who needs that kind of refuge. You can find Elizabeth downstairs at coffee hour to sign up to be a part of this, to let us know whether we have enough human power to make this happen. In addition, it is likely that we won't know on November 5th what the lay of our democratic experiment looks like. It could be that we will need to have a rapid response to things that are happening. There is also a sign-up sheet downstairs at coffee hour that if you would like to be a part, joining with staff to help make rapid response events happen, that we might be able to be responsive to the community. We can't do it alone, but if we have more people, that would be wonderful to hear. And one last thing is starting the last Tuesday in September 25th, from 12:30 to 1:30, I'm going to be here and invite anyone who needs to come on a weekly basis, drop in or not, to something I'm calling Meaning Making in Anxious Times. I know some of us can't come in the middle of the day, but this is the time that we could offer something. So if this might work for you, every Tuesday except October 15th, I will be here in the building. You can bring your lunch and we can just talk. It'll be facilitated by me, so it's not going to be a free-for-all, but it will be a space for these times.
Do you love local history? Do you love stories? Do you love this place? Do you like behind-the-scenes work? Maybe you can be part of the archives team. Next time you are downstairs for coffee hour, like today, check out our room across from the Children's Library. That is our archives room that could really use some loving care to help make sure that the history of this place is well kept and accessible. For any person or group or institution that loses sight of its history might lose sight of its future as well.
As part of this loving community, the Joys and Sorrows team collects submissions from the congregation to share our celebrations and our sadness with each other. Items are submitted on a Google form and can be shared in the minister's prayer on a Sunday morning or via a weekly post that goes out on Realm. This helps to connect our large and widespread community together. I'd like to invite everyone to participate.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I'm a member of the Climate Justice team, and we are inviting you to a series of specific events this fall, specifically this month, the UU Climate Justice Revival. We are one of over 350 UU congregations who are taking part in this opportunity for learning and dialogue. We're hosting it on the weekend of Saturday, September 28th, and Sunday, September 29th, with a full morning program and potluck on Saturday. There's even a vegan cooking class for families. Registration required, space is limited. On Saturday morning, but there's no registration necessary for the Saturday morning workshops and the potluck. We encourage you to attend. And then we'll be hosting a concluding workshop after the service on Sunday, September 26th. facilitated by our dear Reverend Karen, which is focused on climate and the futures that we are choosing. So we're so excited about this. We're even starting a week early with Reverend Karen facilitating a conversation on climate justice, UU values, and spiritual practice after the service on Sunday, September 22nd. So mark your calendars. Sunday, September 22nd, workshop and service. Saturday, September 28th, morning workshops and potluck lunch. And Sunday, September 29th, service and workshop. Please join us.
Hi, I'm Rodney, and this is my partner, Taylor. The auction is a gift that keeps on giving. That's not because not only is the auction a fun event, but the most popular parts of the auction are items that bring people together within the congregation to get to know one another better. High-end dinners and low-cost walks. Each year we hold an auction. Typically it's in the spring. In recent years, past members of the board have worked with other congregants to pull that off. The auction is an important part of our fundraising efforts, and it's an important invitation that we have to extend to you. The board can't be the organizer of the auction anymore. Doing so keeps us from doing other work that only we as the board can do. So we're looking for new folks with new energies to take on organizing the auction in a way that can be sustained year after year, as well as helping us meet our fundraising goals. So I invite you to keep this gift that keeps on giving. And as you can tell, we especially need someone to head this up.
Our Sunday mornings are one of the few remaining, dare I say, fun, multi-generational spaces left in society. To sustain this, we are enthusiastically welcoming more fun volunteers to help make faith development come alive for children, youth, and families. You do not need to be an expert working with children. You just have to be interested in fun. There is behind-the-scenes work you can do during the week or hang out with kids on Sundays for some fun. Don't have the ability to commit to a long-term thing? No problem. There are one-and-done opportunities, though building relationships over time with our kiddos is one of the most fun and rewarding parts of our multi-generational fun community.
Can we give a big huzzah and thank you to these wonderful Fools for Love, Fools for the congregation. Thank you, thank you. You can go back and be seated. I had no idea when I had that idea that anybody would say yes, so I love serving this congregation. Right now, we are about to honor the invitation to families to be a vibrant, integrated part of our congregational community. Families are going to be taking part in the Parent Circle of Connection and the Children's Festival in the Memorial Garden. So even though we are sending them out, we are still keeping them in our hearts, and we show that because those of you who might have found bubbles next to you in your pew, you are being asked to create a bubble blessing. And for families who are here, if you could join Erica back there so that you can walk forward as you receive the bubble blessing on your way to the Children's Festival, which also includes bagels in the parlor. Whether you're interested in faith development, the Children's Festival, or just bagels, please feel free to take part. And if you are willing to be a fool for this place with love at the center, you are invited to opt in as well as to opt out of a waggle dance that brings you forward. Blow your bubbles, friends. Let us bless them. Do you want to say it? Waggle dance. They're going to go pollinate for us and create more possibilities. Kind is cool is a t-shirt that I'm seeing. Be kind to all kinds I am seeing. There is a blessing for each and all, whether you are here now or you're coming along and we don't know you, but we meet you soon. Blessings on you as you create our faith development program, this ministry that reminds us across the generations, in tutus and not tutus, galoshes, whether it's wet or not, the joy. All right. As you move on your way, may there be joy and love at the center, so be it.
So you all are invited to rise in body or spirit. And in case there's some sort of unforeseen technical glitch in the projection, you'll find that the words to this song repeat over and over. And so any given verse, the same line is repeated 3 times out of the 5 lines. So you'll just listen and you'll catch on real fast. And then last, this song has its roots in a traditional gospel tune. So I would encourage you to, in the spirit of today's service, to waggle a bit, to move around, to stomp your feet, click your fingers, clap your hands if you will. Just don't be still. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's called Let the Life I Lead Speak for Me. Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the life I lead speak for me. Let the friends I have speak for me. Let the friends I have speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the friends I have speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the work I do speak for me. Let the love I share speak for me. Let the love I share speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave, there's nothing more to say. Let the love I share speak for me. I sing, speak for me. Let the songs I sing speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the songs I sing speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave, there's nothing more to say. Let the life I lead speak for me.
Please join me as words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again.
So I just want another round of applause for Todd, who got the invitation like 4 days ago to sing that for us. May you already know the blessing, the gift you are. May you sense the blessing, the gift you can be. And may we all go out and be bzz, bzz, a blessing in the world.